The International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, released a report this week on Iran's nuclear capabilities. Few in the international community were surprised to learn that Iran has the resources to start building a nuclear arsenal. According to the report, Iran has 5.5 tons of low-enriched uranium, enough to create 4 nuclear bombs if enriched to weapons grade. The IAEA also reports that Iran is moving many of its nuclear programs to the Fordo military base, just north of the city of Qom. The Fordo facility is located under a mountain, making it practically invulnerable to an outside strike. The Iranian government insists that its nuclear development is for domestic purposes and refuses to reduce the program. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has criticized the IAEA and accused them of fabricating the report in this clip featured on Al Jazeera.
The Americans have fabricated a few pieces of paper and given them to the IAEA chief, and he speaks here and there about these papers. Why don't they even publish one report on the United States? Why don't they publish even one report on the friends of the United States?
According to David Albright, the head of the Institute for Science and International Security, speaking on CNN, both Iran and the international community are still debating how best to respond to the IAEA report.
They have to calculate that they'll be caught when they make the decision to go nuclear, and therefore they have to be able to do it rapidly before the international community can respond, either with draconian sanctions or with military strikes.
However, military action is unlikely. Israeli newspaper Haaretz is reporting that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Ehud Barak are attempting to gain support for a strike on Iran, but the United States government is advocating tighter sanctions instead. Matthew Kronig, the Stanton Nuclear Security Fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, explains in a council web posting that such sanctions are the most likely solution.
The United States almost certainly will and should go to the United Nations, to the United Nations Security Council, and ask for an additional round of sanctions. There's already been a lot of pressure put on Iran, already a number of rounds of sanctions against Iran. There's very little left to sanction, but the Iranian Central Bank is one option, and the United States should push for a round of sanctions against the Iranian Central Bank.
U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta told the Washington Post that the United States government intends to take diplomatic action only. But Russian officials say they will not consider supporting sanctions against Iran, and it remains to be seen whether compromise is possible. For now, the tension between Iran and the West is rhetorical only, but the possibility of greater conflict remains. For War News Radio, with producer Chloe Wittenberg, I'm Caroline Batten.